Hi, Tim Span here. As we mentioned in the article, we're going to be ingesting all the medications, the data. So don't get excited. There's no real drugs here. What we're doing is grabbing the data from the DailyMed at the NIH at the government here, DailyMed, National Library of Medicine. Important data. It's updated. The news is updated a lot. Like if we go into this news, like what's all the different medications that have been updated in the last 7 days. And we could see there's a lot of them. If you see the scroller, there's also some other sources of data. But let's take a look and we'll start at the beginning. Let's grab that news feed. And it's as easy as can be here. It is just the pretty simple one. I'm going to zoom in here. So we just do an invoke. We could schedule this. Probably just need to schedule this once a day, depending on your work case. Or you could have this triggered. You could have this run stateless. Lots of options here. So let's run this. I ran this before today, so there's going to be a lot of dupes. Here, what I'm doing is converting it from the RSX XML feed that is the standard for news. Convert it to JSON, then split it up. We look at the provenance, and we can see we got the data here. It's in JSON format. Looks pretty good. Let's make sure that this is good resolution here. Okay, so we've got that split. You see we have it paused here. I've already got 3,000 records ready to go to Kafka. And we'll run just once here, which sends another 500. And that's sending that over to the Daily Drug News. I don't know. That's what I named it. And you can see what's the most recent one here. That's from December 1st. So I could see here different brand of hand sanitizer. There's Aleve. There's a bunch of different medications in there. So we can see we process that, get that to Kafka really easy. Yeah, don't send your drugs to Facebook. That's bad. Okay, so the next thing we do is we're grabbing a link here. And we're grabbing the main fields as the link, the pub date, and the title. And I'm going to use that to call the link that's in there over SSL. We get the results back. And it's an HTML page. Now, we could just save that and use that for some, I don't know, LLM, generative AI text training, perhaps. Here, I'm just running it through. I haven't thought of what I want to do next. Definitely leave me a comment, go, hey, why don't you build that text database up? Okay, so what I did here is with extract text, I'm grabbing the last field, and then I send that to my OpenNLP processor to see if we see any keywords. But the main thing we did here is this extract text processor. Thank you, Tika. That convert HTML into raw text. So I don't have all those, painful HTML stuff in there. I don't want that in there. So one use of it. Now the second thing I'm doing, I'm still working on this, so I'll probably post this one tomorrow, is we have all of these. I'm going to grab the set ID. If you looked at the URL that they give you back, and we'll go into a link here, and that has set ID in it. Why set ID is important? If you start looking around the DailyMed site there, they mention different ways you could find all the medications out there, and set ID is the unique ID to find them, and that's awesome. So what I'm going to do is just parse that out, and then I'm going to send it to this other one that gives you a more detail on the label and all the different things on that medication. Pretty awesome. Okay, so that's one thing. Well, I haven't finished that yet. I got to do the little parse. I got to put in probably an update attribute. It's probably all I need, and then just do some JSON path. That might be the way to go. But we'll think about that. Again, you'll see that tomorrow. And then, hold on. I got a sneeze coming. Then we'll go to SPL processing, which we have the set ID here. Oh, I guess I did that already. Oh, but the link here. Okay. So we got the set ID. Oh, I did that already. Duh. Okay. So are we calling the same one? I'm calling a different service. Okay. Well, that's how you learn, right? So I'm going to move that. Let's do this live. Why not? Of course, I'm going to stop this because I've got all this data here. Bye-bye, data. We miss you. Okay. Take that guy. Put it in here. We don't need this guy anymore. Put that guy in there. Yeah, probably shouldn't have copied that in there. Don't look at all the other projects. We're trying to get December done here. So we got... No, wrong one. We got two different DailyMeds because there's different stuff you can do. Okay, so let's move that guy out of the way. And he's going to get that set ID too. But if you look, there's even more stuff we can call. History, media. Again, if you've got uses for those, might as well. Pretty fun to play with here. Wow, really fast stuff here. So we have that set ID coming in. So we can just, if we look here, we've got a lot of fields, but there's the set ID. We parsed out that ID there so we can call stuff. So all we have to do is and we'll just get the result back. Yeah, if there's a failure, there's a couple of use cases you got to handle here with any of the invokes, like retry, you know, and then you got to figure out what's next in your next step. Which, if you don't know what you're doing, update attributes usually a reasonable one. Let's run this again. Let's get a couple of more records here. It's going to be the same ones because they probably haven't changed it yet. We should see if there's a way to find out when stuff changes. Okay, so now we've got 2,000 records to play with. Let's see if we get one working. No. What did we do wrong? What is the output here? Let's make sure we spelled set ID wrong. We probably did. It's probably lowercase. That's one of the things I hate about IDs. Let's see. Oh, I don't think I did that right. Let's see. Did I do it right? Oh, I did do it right. Let's get rid of that trim. That looks good, right? No extra spaces. To get SSL's on. Let's try another one. Oh, that one worked. So now we got some new data to play with. I'm curious. Pretty good size content. Again, any of this content we could use for training a generative AI model. MIME type. Oh, it's RSS again. Okay, so we'll just parse this and then we could get along. But the other part of this demo here is we're grabbing the set ID like you saw already. And then here, just run that once. We're passing that to this other URL that takes the set ID and gets us a similar kind of XML. Here I convert that into JSON. Could probably do that. I'll do that for that guy too. And then I extract as much text as I can. If you look at the top, you know, there's only so much you can grab, but you grab a buffer's worth, and then you can send it as a Slack. This one had invalid stuff. I gotta check that. There's some use cases where they give you some broken files, and I'm wondering if that's something wasn't looked up. Ooh, another one. Let's see, did we do something wrong here? No, this one went through. So we gotta check that, see why sometimes we get failures. Because failures sometimes mean you just didn't handle every use case. Class cast exception. So when it tried to convert from XML to JSON, something went wrong. So we may want to try a different way to convert. We may have to tweak which of the RSS readers we did. But here we can send out a Slack message based on the fields there. And we could take a look over in chat. You can see we got a new one here. Infants die free gas relief. Hey, sometimes you need gas relief. Okay, so that worked. We got to take a look at these failures. Also, we need to connect this over here and convert from RSS to something we like. But that's a good way to get that going. We did the HTML, so this part is done. Obviously, we got some enhancements coming, so keep me honest there. Another one, we're grabbing this. Again, no logins, which is awesome. Don't have to know anything. So this one is interesting. It's all the drugs, like I said in the title. So we're going to grab all the drugs. If you see here, we only get 100 at a time. And not surprisingly, there's more than 100 drugs in the United States. So I've run this through already. As you can see, that 44,000. But let's do it again, just to have that on video. So I set a file name here, which I put a time in there, so it's a unique timestamp, so I'm not doing this stuff again. Then I grab all the cool metadata that I'm going to need to be able to call this URL again. I need to know what page we're on, what page we're going to. It's a whole thing. So then we check to see if we've have any updates with this medication. Now, if so, like if you look here, I've got a NiFi cache here. The cache could be something else. I was doing Redis for a while. You could do HBase, Hazelcast. A couple of options there. And if it's not in the... if it's found, whatever, you already have it. I probably could just throw that away. And then if it's not found, then we want to store it to that same cache. So we keep just the latest ones. If we need to get out of there, then we go to the next page. And then if we have more data here, if the next page is not null, then we call the URL for next page. And if that has more data, we go to get that metadata again, because we need all those fields for current page, next page, all that fun stuff. And if it is, we go back, call that again. Here we get more data records. We split them out by data. And then if the rows have changed, we check that. And then we could send all these records to Kafka. Again, here we do it to the med list. I guess we could send 44,000. Doesn't take too long. And then we could take a look at the med list here and see how many records it has. Is this done yet? Yeah. Yep. 44,000 on my laptop, if you're wondering. So probably should have put a lot more in here, because now we got 98,000 records. Oh, lots of different drugs here. Name type. I got to look up what name type is. I'm curious now. But lots of different medications here with the offset. Now, if I can get those set IDs from the other one and combine them. But yeah, so a lot of data coming through here based on the call. Again, this one changes randomly, so you probably want to schedule that a little more frequently than once a day. But that's a good one. We'll do another follow-up tomorrow when I add that other stuff over in my SPL processing, and then see if we can do something with that against that cache we have. Remember, we cached it. So we have all those drug names. So if there's a way we can figure out how to match them, oh, that might be good.